Right, okay then. I am going to do my Horus Heresy Mark III Command Squad, who are going to be Iron Warriors. Now, I've been having a really good think about this, about how I want to do this unit. And I've decided that I'm going to make them look proper veterans. So, I'm going to give them these proper heads that come with them. I do think in some cases the Iron Warriors might. I was saying in the last video, do Iron Warriors suit these kind of tufts of hair? And I went away and thought about it, and I really had a good think. Does it make sense for the Iron Warriors to have this? And actually, when you think about it, with their pure, steel plate, actually, it could just about work, really. So I'm going to go for those helmets. I'm going to go for a lot of these swords. I'm not going to use the Gladius sword because that is too Ultramarine and Imperial Fist for my liking. So I'm going to use these swords here, and then they're going to have shields. However, me being me, I don't care what anyone says. That is definitely an Iron Warrior's weapon, isn't it? I think it's going to look fantastic with using that there to actually be my Iron Warriors. I think I might have to go away and find something to put on the end of that hammer. But other than that, I think it's definite. I mean, I might not even need to actually, because it looks a bit undecorative and flat, but I think it might just about be usable. So, I'm going to start off then with the obvious stuff and start working out some core parts for this. So, let me start out with the banner. Now, with the Iron Warriors, I really like the idea of using this banner. I just want to create, with the hazard stripes that are going to go onto this, it's going to look very, very good, I hope. Say I hope. That's my plan anyway. Okay, and then we've got choices between which one of these to use. And then, of course, I'm going to, although, these aren't the... Oh gosh, my brain goes to sleep sometimes. I'm not going to use the Horus icon. I'm going to use this one here. I know that we kind of think, well, they're not following the Imperium anymore, but they're just kind of wings, so I think we can get away with that. Of course, we need our arm. And this way, we can start building up a veteran. Bent that a bit. I think just been more careful, shouldn't I? Okay. Now, as I said, I like this banner. I like anything with a lot of space to paint on. And obviously with the Iron Warriors being the Iron Warriors, having a big set of stripes on this will look good. If you have ever seen the Alexis Pollux model, you will know that he's actually standing over a Iron Warriors banner that's been written down, which is, of course, perfectly correct behaviour from the Imperial Fists. Now, let's start planning this out. It doesn't really matter which body you use here in any particular way, but you've got to kind of remember that this guy's going to be standing you know, very clearly with a banner in hand. So I think this banner is probably the best bet. I'm just going to pull my camera back a bit because what I'm doing is I keep knocking it. Try and get it into a more overhead position while I do this so I don't keep knocking it every time I try and glue something. I'm so used to doing these things from a top-down position that kind of working out where to put my hand when doing it at this angle is actually quite difficult. Right. Then we get this part. I'm sure this is the right arm that I've pulled out. Just make sure that this is going to fit right and it's going to be in a good position. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to let that dry for a bit now. And while I allow that to start drying, I'm going to show you how I'm going to approach getting this ready for my champion. Now the question is, which one of these bodies do I think is going to be best for this? I think as well, what might be a good idea is, see this shaft here, because it's already there and available and quite long, it might actually work if I do this. So can you see, oh, I'm still getting my angle off because I'm not in the normal position. I think that'll work. I think it's roughly about the right length and it'll have a slightly slung under look to it. This way it'll hopefully look like he's holding this right under the haft. Now, if you don't know where this axe comes from, it's Bastian Cathalos, I think it's pronounced, from Age of Sigmar. The good thing is the miniature comes with two hammers, a double-handed one and a single-handed one. So it meant that when I built that model I could do it the two-handed version, and this left me, purely by accident, it wasn't an intentional thing that I did, I just chose the two-handed approach on that miniature, which has now left me, rather fortunately, with this. Now the problem I've got is I've got to get this perfectly straight. There we go. Now it is missing a little decoration on the front of this thing, unfortunately. Ooh, that comes with the Bastian model. Go on. But to be fair, it doesn't look completely wrong either. Also work well for salamanders, that as well, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm just trying to check my arm positioning and make sure that it feels correct and in a nice position. And the problem is when you start moving it around a little bit, you start to realise, well, you know, that you haven't got things as perfectly flat as you wanted them. Right, I need this to kind of sit like so. There we go. Now we've got a nice hammer on the go. Okay, let me just check an arm that's going to work well with this one too. If I go for this number 44 here, let's see how this fits. Make sure that that sits perfectly as well as I go. Right, now I kind of like the idea of using this body here, this walking forward body. Because among other things, it's about making sure that you've got it in a position that looks right as well as you go. Oh gosh, should have been a bit slower and more patient. But, okay, there we go. Now we got something that looks more like, potentially got a lot more of a Iron Warrior vibe to him, doesn't he? So his arms on right. I think if I've got time, I'll find as well a excuse me, find something for the top of that hammer just to make it look a lot better, so it's not just that weird look. Now, what else do I need here really? So I should think, and another thing I need is potentially this. Yeah, shield on him. Now, with this video, my intention is not to show you how to do every single little thing on these units, because they're not really needed. How to put together a shield, how to add one of the swords, it's, you know, it's all the same thing once it's done once. I think though, got to actually watch myself as well, because what I need to add to these guys is, oh gosh, I've got a troll randomly attacking me. These things, I think they are, these 52s need to actually go over the attachment here, the greave. So that's something that I'll also need to look into doing, but I'll do that in a second. Just give that a chance to actually set. Now I need a hand for the shield, and I need an arm. Now, this is potentially going to be a choice that you make about how you want to get your painting style going. So not everyone likes gluing shields on straight away because it makes them that much harder to paint later on. But just make sure that the way you've set up the arm allows for that to happen. I'm probably not going to have a problem gluing this, painting this shield. I don't think it's that difficult to get behind, to be quite honest. can see here you're getting this kind of nice approach going on. Let's make sure that this is slide. I get this arm in just the right place. It's not sitting how I would want it to. There we go. Okay, now I need a good helmet. So let's decide which one will look really good here. I think number 5 potentially, but let me just check if there's anything else is more interesting or more striking, because along with this one we've also got the options from this where you've got a larger one of these, but this one sits at a different angle, so instead of moving front to back it goes side to side, which is not really, I think, something that I want on this. So I'll definitely be going for this head here. There we go. Kind of trying to get the impression that he's potentially beckoning, or as he's walking forward, inferring that he's trying to find a particular target. Just going to give that a second to kind of calm down, so to speak. Now, what we need to do is get out a couple of these from the main Trooper sprue, these numbers 52s here. Now, I think I'm going to regret gluing that shield on already, because I've just realised that that's going to cause me a few problems now. What you need to do, you need to get these, and then shouldn't put that shield on so soon, because I need to get this under here now. Deft of me, wasn't it? No problem. Fixed it. Should have done that in the first place, shouldn't I? Okay, and then over on this side, same again. That arm's going to irritate me now every time I move it. And then same again. Just think another one going on here. Making sure I've got that on the right place. It's a very weird positioning, this. It needs to go. Let me get this right. Putting it too high up. Come on. I should have done this earlier on so it wasn't giving me so much grief, eh? Like that. That's the way it should go. Yeah, as far back as possible, basically, to slightly cover that there. Right, that looks now like it's coming along. And the next little bit that I need to do is get shoulder guards up. So we need 2 of these, 1 each side. So let me decide which ones I like the look of, because we've got some specialised ones here with rivets and other things on it. So I've just got to really decide how I want this to look. I think I'll go for this slightly studded spiked one. In fact, there's a good chance that when I start trying to do these, I might actually try and find more spiked studded ones from my bits box, see if I've got a spare Chaos Space Marine one maybe. Okay. And then of course I need a regular shoulder pad. And now I need a backpack, so any of these backpacks will do, as always. There we go. Right, there we go. Quite cool now, isn't he? Okay, so that there is how I've decided to do my sergeant. And well, he's not a sergeant, is he? He's a veteran with a Thunderhammer, just to give him a bit more of a Iron Warrior vibe, without a doubt about that. I'm trying to have a think if there's anything else I really need to add to this guy, but obviously I'm not really one who adds things like bolt pistol, pistol holsters and ammo belts while I'm painting them, because I think it just makes painting the whole model a lot harder. Right, so there is that guy, and it's dead simple from here on out. So all you need to do, I'll just sort of finish showing the arm setup from a standard, and I think that's enough for this video. I don't really feel that there's much more to gain by showing any more than that, because this is exactly how they're all pretty much the same. You put the arm on, you put the shield on, and you pick a head. So I don't want to feel like I'm okay. And then what we have there is the standard. Yeah, it's very simple, really. There's nothing particularly, scary or difficult about putting this together. And as with the rest, that's just a matter of picking a power sword, picking an arm that you're happy with, this is going to be a nightmare. It's literally going to go out of its way to be as annoying as possible while it dries, so I think yeah, I think I need his base to get my stability going. There we go. That way it doesn't keep falling. Right, so there we go. That is basically how we put together these guys. And all it is, you know, you've still got your shields. You do somehow have some nice, quite cool options as well. Take, for example, things like the Artificer helmet. I think it's this one here. Yeah, that's one. And again, it's kind of just held in a arm like this. Again, this would look very good on that standard, as you might guess, because it's got quite a heroic pose, for want of a better word. And I'll just show you how I quickly would do this one. There we go. And that's it. That's all we need to worry about and know how to do these. I've still got to put one of those little 52s on there. I said there's lots of little fiddly bits, unfortunately, to get done on these guys. Which would take me freaking ages, as you might guess, to do every single little nook and cranny. Probably best off finishing doing that part. Of course, because his helmet is in his arm, you're going to make sure that you give him a bog standard, well, not a bog standard head, but one of these open-faced helmets are ideal for this. Again, depending on whether or not you want him to look particularly kind of veteran, you've got things like this bionic eye here, or you've got the open helmed one, with no real decoration on it. I think I'll go for this one. And then, of course, fit the relevant shoulder pads and backpack. So there we go. That is, you know, how we go put our veterans together. So I kind of showed you pretty much how to put together the standard and how I've gone about making a custom champion for this unit. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.